Well, it's the first day of June. Hey, good morning to you, folks. It's time to take a look at the overnight markets for this first trade day of June. And in doing so, we'll go to Premier Cooperative and Premier Doug Kropp. Good morning to you, Premier Doug.
Hey, good morning, Gail.
Well, it's a beautiful weekend, actually. When you didn't watch the TV or go out on the streets, it was a beautiful weekend. And I think that being said, I think probably in our area, biggest majority of the crop pretty well got finished up, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Saw several planters rolling over the weekend. I know they were working hard. It's been a little bit of a challenge to get this last, third or quarter of the crop in, and
Right.
so I think they're glad to get out there and finish up the planting and maybe do a little bit of replanting in a few spots, things like that. And the crops that are out there that have been planted and coming up continue to look better each and every day with the sunshine that we had here.
Yep, absolutely. And, of course, the market will be watching the crop progress report this afternoon, the first one giving the condition report on soybeans. And I guess the market will probably reflect that we'll probably see that corn up in the upper 90s and beans up in the at least the upper 70s, lower 80s. But the big thing is the continued unrest between United States and China.
Yeah, so that's kind of the little bit of the negative news out there continues to be, and what that's going to actually become. China and the U.S. between Trump and China, they continue to throw out headlines or stories about they're going to do this or do that. Story today about China asking some of their state-owned firms to temporary halt purchases of soybeans and maybe pork from the United States, whether that's going to come to fruition or not, because they do need our pork and our soybeans. But definitely some stories like that regarding the Hong Kong and some other things that China is not happy about what the U.S. is saying.
Well, let me see. Today we've got the export inspections about mid-morning, and then, of course, the crop progress report. It would appear that I would think starting the first of the month that we might see some short covering, but as of yet through the overnight, we haven't really seen much of that, have we?
No, I think, with all these other news stories and things going out, I think people want to kind of see how we start out the month. The managed funds continue to have a pretty good sizable short corn position, kind of getting close to being even on beans. So there is potential there for some short covering, especially in the corn, if we can get just a little bit of a few legs up on the market and get those guys thinking they want to get out of their positions.
Well, the other positive thing is that this first day of June, as I understand it, several of the ethanol plants across the U.S. Are going to start reproducing, if you will, start firing up their grind, and that should be somewhat supportive, underlying support of the corn market where we are right now, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. We have seen for 4 weeks in a row, and this will be the fifth week if it continues, where we saw ethanol production increase and actual ending stocks, or stocks on hand, I should say, of ethanol reducing. So that increased production and less inventory, that's a good sign of continued demand and some more movement of ethanol. And so I think you'll see a lot of new months, time to start up, some more plants continuing to grow or start, and that's positive.
Very good. And also, I believe the crush numbers come out today as well, which they're saying is likely going to be well above the 5.3 area, probably around 5.4 million tons. That was crushed in April, or in May. Yeah, in April. So that's probably not a negative for the market anyway, but we need that crush because there is pretty good demand for meal.
Yeah, the crush business has continued to be strong throughout this whole issue of the pandemic and everything, and the meal has kind of been leading the way with that. And I think we'll continue to see a good crush numbers as we go forward. And it's always about a month behind when they come out with that report, but looking for some good numbers again today.
Pretty lightly traded for the most part, especially in the corn market. But let's go ahead and take a look at those numbers. Thought maybe we could visit long enough, Doug, to get them a little bit closer to unchanged, maybe even positive, but it didn't work again today. Let's take a look at those numbers. Doug Kropp from Premier Cooperative. Doug?
Okay, we have July corn is down 1 cent at 3.24 3/4. December new crop corn is down 1.50 at 337 and a quarter. New crop 21 D's corn is at 366 and 3/4, down 1.01 and a quarter. July beans are down 2 cents at 838 and 3/4. November beans are down 3/4 cent at 851. In the wheat complex, we have July wheat down 4 cents at 516 and 3/4, and December wheat's down 4 and a quarter at 528 even.
Doug Crop with us each morning, looking at the overnight markets and forward to the day trade from Premier Cooperative. Of course, Doug can be reached throughout the corporate trade day hours. The number is 217-355-3369. That's 355-3369. Or you can always go to their website, premiercooperative.net. Thank you, Premier Doug. Have a Premier Monday and welcome to June.
Yeah, thank you, and have a good day as well.